It's 2025 and it's been a little over 2 years since ChatGPT has entered our lives. And since then, AI has revolutionized the way we work in academia too. In this video, I will teach you how you can leverage AI for your next academic paper. And we will cover all the topics from how to create the perfect plots using AI, how to write your manuscript, how to find the perfect sources for your manuscript, and also how you can do journal submission checks using AI. So stay tuned and watch this video if you want to save hours and hours and hours of time writing your next paper. If you don't know me yet, hi, I'm Ainur. I'm a third year PhD student at Imperial College London in chemical engineering, and I made it my mission to teach you all the secrets I know in academia, video by video through all my social media channels. This video is kindly sponsored by Sourcely AI, which is an AI tool that makes it possible to find the perfect sources within seconds, but more on them later. This video will be divided into 4 sections. The first section is we're going to talk about how to plot the perfect graphs and figures. Then we're going to talk about how to write the manuscript. Then we're going to talk about how to find the perfect sources. And finally, how to do the last journal submission checks using AI. So without further ado, let's dive right into it to the first section. Plots, graphs, figures, aka the heart and soul of your paper. So when you decide to write a paper, the first thing you're going to ask yourself is, what is the number one main message that you want to tell people when they read your paper? So let's say, for argument's sake, the number one message is that you want to tell people that the white color of polar bears is the best color for them to survive the harsh climates in winter, right? So if that is your number one thing, what you're now going to do is you're going to go through all the data that you've collected over time, all the experiments that you did, everything you've collected, and you're going to sort them out. You're going to find everything that supports this argument that the color white is the best color. Then you're going to sort through all your data and you're going to pick everything that supports that argument, right? Once you did that, we're going to create something that's called a picture book. And this is something that my bachelor supervisor during my undergrad degree taught me. And it is to plot all the graphs that you want to show in your paper, plug them into a file, and sort them so that they make logically sense. So you build up an argument. You want to argue about the color of polar bear's fur, right? That it's white. Then you list all the figures that you have that support that statement. And this is going to be the most important part of your paper, because this is going to be your storyline, and this is going to show off all the hard work that you did and all the results that you have. So in order to do that, you also need good looking plots, figures, and graphs. Obviously, this one comes with experience, but you also, I'm sure you've heard of lots of people who plot their data using Python, or they do their statistical analysis using R. And these are great tools to do. And these are also great tools that will make your plots look super professional. But also, these require a little bit of a learning curve. You have to learn how to use R, Python, learn these new languages to plot your data. Luckily, this is something where the AI revolution hits, because with AI, I'm sure you've tried it out yourself, like coding has become so easy. And now there are even AI tools for academic researchers like us that do all these data plotting for us. And one of them is Julius AI. So with Julius AI, you can basically import all your data sets, and then it will walk you step by step through your entire data analysis process using R, Python. That's on you, whatever you choose. And it will not only explain to you step by step what it's doing, but it will also provide the code for you, and it will also plot the data for you. So do make sure to check it out, because it is something that's going to save you hours and hours and hours of time. And in the end, you'll have a beautiful picture book. So that's the first step. We got that picture book done. Nice. Let's move on to the second step, which is the manuscript writing. So up until this point, we didn't write a single thing. We just sorted out our data, we plotted them, and now we have to write. A typical scientific research paper has always the same structure. You start off with an abstract. I'm sure many of you have written an abstract before. It's basically just very short what this paper is about. It's kind of like a trailer of a movie, right? You want to make an exciting abstract so that people read it. And then also it starts with an introduction where you go a little bit more into detail, just very roughly why your science, why your project is even important, what its applications are, where this idea is coming from, just to show that it has some significance in this world. Then it goes over to a literature review, which is important to state, okay, what have other scientists done so far in that field, and what am I contributing to that research field, what is going to be new in this paper, and why hasn't this been covered like before, right? What is the state of art right now? And then you're going to explain your methodology. Methodology is if you did like experiments, you're going to explain, okay, what kind of experiments did you do? How was your experimental setup? How, what kind of technology did you use? What did you use? How was your setup? If you're a computational scientist like I am, you're going to explain your computational methods and so on. What is your methodology? How did you do your research? Then, as we said, the heart and core of your paper, your picture book, your results. This is something that you already put a lot of work in before by plotting all your data and sorting it out. Now you're gonna put everything, every single figure that you have, you're gonna surround it with text. You're gonna explain what you can see in that figure, you're gonna discuss it and draw a conclusion from every single figure that you have. And finally, once you've done that, you're going to write your conclusion, just summarize very quickly the main findings of your paper, maybe suggest some future work that could be done in that field, and that's going to be the end of your paper. Now, this is a lot of writing. Obviously, it is.
Yes, yeah, you love writing.
Well, I don't. But again, here, AI has revolutionized the way we are writing right now and the way we're going to write in the future as well. So there are lots of academic AI research writing assistants out there already, and they help you to hit the right tone, like stay academic, but also you just save a lot of time because you can just like write down your ideas without worrying too much about how it sounds, and then these AI tools, they will just make it sound super academic and the way that it should sound in a paper. And one of these tools is Yomu AI. Yomu AI is an AI writing assistant, and the cool thing about it is that you can basically take your picture book that you created in step 1 and you can insert it all into Yomu AI and just start writing right away with all the pictures and stuff in it. And this is not illegal, by the way. A lot of journals are okay with you using AI for your research and for your paper submission, but make sure to read the journal guidelines because some say that you have to declare it, some say you don't have to declare it. Just make sure that you're on board with that, but this is not just something illegal that you're not allowed to do. You can definitely do it. Yeah, so that's the writing part. Okay, now that we've covered how to create beautiful figures and graphs and how to write your manuscript, we're going to cover how to find the right sources in as less time as possible using AI. So if you've been in academia for a while, even if it's just a short while, I'm pretty sure you've run across a problem that you want to write something and you know that something's correct, but you cannot just write that down. You have to find a source for it, right? And sometimes you just want to look up something. Usually it's just small numbers or like a factor or something. It just happened to me recently. I was just looking for a little number to prove a point in order to being able to like write it down and cite it. And it took me hours to find that one paper that would have this number down that I could use it. And now here is where Sourcely AI, the sponsor of this video, comes in. And also here is where AI will save you hours and hours of work. So with Sourcely AI, when you go to their platform, you can enter or paste any kind of text that you want to find a source on. So staying on the example of polar bears, I'm going to paste this text. So polar bears have white fur, which is great for reflection of solar radiation, which basically means that the white color of the polar bears reflects the sunlight and it bounces basically back into the atmosphere. And for that, I want to find a source. It's common knowledge. Everybody knows that that's what the case is, but we still need a source for it, right? So you click on Find Sources. Before you do that, you can also add filters, which is very useful if you want to look at publications in a certain time range. So maybe you're looking for something that has been published quite recently and don't want to look at the old papers, or maybe you're looking for something that has been cited a lot. So here you have the option to change the minimum citations, and you can only look at papers that have been cited a lot and are very popular in that area, or you can include or exclude keywords. So if I'm looking at like the white fur, I could add the color white in it so that it definitely gives me examples on anything that's related to polar bears' white fur. And then also document type, very important, because sometimes you really just want to see a review article, or sometimes you only want to see a research article. So here you can filter the document type as well. And then So once we hit search, we're gonna get two different kind of results. We're gonna get citation-worthy text highlights and all relevant sources. So citation-worthy text highlights includes lots of books as well. So not only research articles and review papers that you can also find through Google Scholar, for example, but you can also see here books, and it will basically go through the book and find paragraphs that include that information, which is very, very cool, because a book, unless you buy it, you won't know what's written in it. But if this book is on Google Books, then Sourcely AI is able to scan through it, find the place where this information is stored, and then you know whether to buy or not buy the book based on that information, which is just chef's kiss. It's amazing. So here, for example, you have lots of different books on polar bears that all cover also the topic of polar bears, white fjords, and reflection. But we're not interested in that. We're looking for research articles. And for that, basically, we're going to close this and we're going to look at all relevant sources. And there you can already see lots of articles that basically cover this topic. Here, for example, utilization of solar radiation by polar animals, an optical model for pelts. Yeah, the first one is out as well. Looks at the total reflection of the light through the fjord. What you can do now is to double check is you can click on the summary button, and then Sourcely AI will create an AI summary for you. This is not the abstract, it's a summary written in easy language, so you can just skim through it and see whether it fits what you're looking for or not. So you can read through it. So here you can, for example, see optical properties of polar bear fjords and light collection, transmission, reflection, and the entire fiber optic system. So I know this paper literally, that's the first result, by the way. The most matching result exactly matches what I was looking for. And yeah, you read through it, you approve it, and then what you can do is you can view the source. You just click here, and then basically the paper page will pop up, and you can just download the paper and read through it in more detail, or you can save the paper into your Sourcely library. You can view this, you can export the source here. It generates the source now, and then you can just copy whatever type of citation you're using in your document. What you can also do is, once you've saved here the source, you can export all the sources into your Mendeley or Zotero citation program, which is very handy if you're using that, to just keep your citation library up to date and use all the sources that you find through Sourcely AI. Finally, what you can also do is you can literally export all the sources that Sourcely AI found, and just maybe for future reference to look at it later on. For that, you just click on export all, and then it will do that, and it will be sent to your email address so that you can have a look at it later. Yeah, having said all this, I feel like this is going to be a great tool that will save you lots of time while writing, just so that you don't spend hours and hours and hours of time looking for sources that you can easily find through Sourcely AI, which is something that I did previously. Like, I literally, like, the amount of hours I wasted on finding sources, I could cry a river on that. So very glad that this works now, and give it a go. You can check out Sourcely AI through the link in the description box or by scanning the QR code on the left side. Make sure to check it out, give it a try. I think you won't regret it. It will be super useful. Moving on to the final step. Your paper is done now. Congratulations, you've written all of it. And now you want to submit it to a journal. There is a tool that will help you with journal submission checks, where you can basically upload your paper, pick the journal that you want to submit it in, and then it will go through your abstract, through everything you've written, and literally give you like a breakdown of things you could have done better, things that maybe the journal requires but you didn't fulfill them. So some journals, have like specific requirements, and it's super easy to check them with AI. And this tool is called Paperpal. So with Paperpal, you can easily do these journal submission checks, and it's for free, and it's done within minutes, and it's a super easy and convenient way to literally go through your paper one more time before you send it off to that journal. Okay, that being said, these were the 4 steps to write a paper using AI. And I think you're gonna benefit a lot from this video if you apply all these things. I benefited a lot from these AI tools myself, so that's why I can say this with confidence. If you've liked this video, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like or comment something or subscribe to the channel, because this channel is quite small. It's a baby channel, and every single form of engagement means a lot, and it will help this channel to grow more and for me to create better quality videos for you guys as well. So make sure to do that. Also, check out this QR code here, and by scanning that, you can go directly to Sourcely AI and check out the tool yourself. If not, you can find the discount code that I have for you guys in the caption, and also the link to Sourcely in the caption as well. And finally, if you want to check out my Instagram channel, you can also scan this QR code here. I post almost daily academics tips there, bite-sized pieces, so make sure to follow me there as well. And yeah, that's all I have to say in this video. Make sure to take care of yourself wherever you are, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye bye!